VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 684, recorded on May 20th, 2023.
Welcome to the 684th edition of the TD Gaming Podcast, the 517th edition of the Video Game Roundtable. I am TJ Denzer.
I am Scott Dirk.
And I am Jonah Falcon.
The VGRT Gaming Podcast focuses on game news from around the industry and a gaming flashback.
We're going to talk about what we've been playing, and we'll do this really briefly. This might surprise you. I've been playing Jagged Empire.
Yeah?
Yeah, I decided to just...
Game?
Yes, I decided to download it again, because I played that game a metric ton of times, a long time ago. I think it was released, 2005? Anyways, and I wanted to see if it still held up, and wow, it really holds up. Especially since it's automatically upscaled on the Xbox Series X. The funny thing is that when you get the cutscenes, they're all blurry because they're all low rent video, and then it just snaps to really detailed art when it's in-game engine. And for those who don't know, for those who think that Knights of the Old Republic had a great twist in it, wow, big deal. You are Revan. I saw that coming. This is a game that's almost 20 years old. I refuse to give away the plot twist. I'll only say that when I first played it, it made me say aloud, "Holy shit!" It is that shocking a plot twist. I did not see it coming. But the best part is if you play it over again with the knowledge of the twist, you go, "Oh, I see." And everything that happens in the game you thought was for one reason, no. You can see how it's helping the other person.
They do hint at it a lot.
They hint at it a lot. There's a lot of things that happen that you have assumptions about, and then you find out your assumptions are all wrong. But yeah, Jade Empire, and there was always talk about a Jade Empire 2, but it's still not around. I hope they make a Jade Empire 2 soon. It really deserves a sequel. Anyways, what have you been playing?
Was that me?
Sure, why not you?
Oh, okay. Zelda. Nothing but Zelda. All Zelda. All
I should have known.
Yeah, same here. But both me and TJ have been playing the Tears of the Kingdom.
It's a big new fantastic world full of creativity and fun quests to do with it. And it's interesting, like this. Everybody has such a vastly different experience based on like where they went, how much they focus on construction, how much they do with like whether they're on the surface world, the sky world, or the underworld. There's so much. I was like Scott. What have you been up to in it, Scott?
Well, I've been doing the shrines. I've done about, I guess, like a handful of them. I did the whole sky tutorial. Then it came down to the ground, and I just went off in my own direction, which is really great because this game totally allows you to go wherever you want. Even into areas that are far too deadly for you to handle. You can take them on if you feel like it. And you can build all these strange contraptions and inventions, and it's crazy some of the stuff I've seen people do. They're building giant death lasers, and it's this really big world again, and it's just fun to get lost in the world again, just to not even be sure where stuff is, and you're like, what is this? What does this do? And you trying to figure things out, and so I haven't really gotten that far, but that's just because there's so much to explore, and I'm collecting stuff, and I'm trying out recipes, and I'm really having fun with the whole fuse mechanic, fusing different items together and getting different kinds of weapons. That's been a lot of fun too.
The level of action and reaction in terms of physics and properties of every single ingredient and object is astounding. I just finished watching a video a moment ago where a guy, it there's a fruit called a dazzle fruit that's basically like a flashbang grenade.
Mm-hmm.
And if you throw it down in front of a moblin, they'll be blind. So I watched this guy throw it in front of a moblin to blind them. They dropped their weapon. The player picked up their weapon and attached a time bomb. It's like there's this machine called, it's just straight up a time bomb, and they attached the time bomb to their weapon with the fuse mechanic, and then dropped it on the ground again. So the moblin picks it up, it explodes and launches them off a cliff. Like, there is so much Looney Tunes shit in this game. It's hilarious.
That's one of my favorite mechanics now, is being able to attach anything to the bow and arrow. Like, there's the Creole Bat Eye that becomes like an automatic homing missile, and it'll hit whatever. Oh, and there's actually missiles lying around. I found some just laying around like a nuke from Fallout. I'm like, what is this?
It's a rocket, and you can attach it to anything.
That's crazy. It's just all this crazy stuff that's just laying around, and you get to play with and just see what happens.
Yeah, people are going to be playing this one for years. The amount of things that you can do in it, and the way that you can, like, kind of, I mean, you saw stuff where people were breaking Breath of the Wild frequently by subverting its physics. People are already doing that with Tears of the Kingdom, and it's only been out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's been pretty amazing, all the stuff that they're doing, and I think, like, I always wonder when players do crazy things, is this what the devs were envisioning people would do? And I always just wonder if they're ever, like, surprised at what people do.
I cannot imagine that they suspected that people would have such a good time creating Korok torturing devices.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, crucifying Koroks, burning them, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. The first time I found one, I was trying to figure out how to do the quest, what the Korok wanted, or how to get it over there. And I just attached it to the side of a beam, and I just put it on the rail, and we went across while he's hanging over, just playing expansive air, going, this is what they wanted, right?
Well, in Star Wars The Phantom Menace Obi-Wan, that game, you could murder everybody in the game. As Obi-Wan. Murder everybody. Of course, people went on murder sprees killing Gungans all over the place, but you could murder anybody you liked in that game, including the quest givers. And there you are, Obi-Wan. Yes, I'm a Jedi, but you know what? I'm just going to kill everybody who I see. I'm now serial killer Obi-Wan.
Yeah, you can't kill everybody in this one, but like,
funny if you could kill Zelda.
I couldn't. Like, I don't make elaborate machines to mess with Koroks, but I wasn't in the mood to deal with one of them. There's a whole bunch of them that are just like have these giant backpacks and they need to get to their friend and you have to lug them along. I just didn't feel like it, so I took 3 rockets out, put one going straight up, and then put one going forward and one going backwards. And you know those fireworks that when you light them, they like spin and shoot sparks in every direction like a blossom?
They're pinwheels, yeah.
That's basically what it was. I turned the Korok into a pinwheel with 3 rockets.
Okay. There's a lot of games that are coming out soon, which I am really excited for. One is Railroad Empire 2, which is coming out in a couple of days. And I am really looking forward to it. I would be pre-ordering it even if it wasn't on Game Pass. And then Town of Salem 2 is coming out in 4 days, which I'm looking forward to. 4 days from today, which is the 20th. Actually, today is the 22nd. That's completely wrong there. For those who are wondering, it's the VGRT Gaming Podcast, episode 684, recorded on May 22nd, 2023. And, of course, there's another game coming out, which we actually are basing the gaming history on. So our gaming history is System Shock. System Shock is a 1994 first-person action-adventure video game developed by Looking Glass Technologies and published by Origin Systems. It was directed by Doug Church with Warren Spector serving as producer. The game is set ashore a space station in a cyberpunk vision of the year 2072. Assuming the role of a nameless security hacker, look at you, hacker, the player attempts to hinder the plans of a malevolent artificial intelligence named Shodan. System Shock's 3D engine, physics simulation, and complex gameplay has been cited as both innovative and influential. I'm going to say this right now. I want you to notice the date there of System Shock. 1994. For those who don't know this, Doom came out in 1992 or 1993. So
Right.
this is building on the emerging gameplay from games such as Ultima Underworld, The Stygian Abyss, and Ultima Underworld 2, Labyrinth of Worlds, by streamlining the mechanics into a more integrated whole. Critics praised System Shock and hailed it as a major breakthrough in the genre. It was later placed on multiple Hall of Fame lists. The game was more of a moderate commercial success, with sales exceeding 170,000 copies, but Looking Glass ultimately lost money on the project. By the way, this was the first game by Looking Glass, and they would make the other System Shock and Thief, and actually a really nice Flight Unlimited game, too. Sequel to System Shock, titled System Shock 2, was released by Looking Glass and Irrational Games in 1999 to further acclaim and awards. And, oh, by the way, System Shock 2 is the mother of an entire genre that goes from BioShock to Prey to other games. If there's a game in which it's a first-person role-playing game and has audio logs, it's System Shock 2. It came from System Shock 2. One of the first projects Night Dive Studios did following the acquisition of the rights was to develop System Shock Enhanced Edition, which was released in Good Old Games on September 22nd, 2015 for Microsoft Windows. Here's the thing. The game did not age well. Just for those who know. Even the Enhanced Edition, which makes better use of the mouse, it's very hard to control. Shortly after the release of Enhanced Edition, Night Dive Studios announced their plans to develop a reimagining of System Shock for the Microsoft Windows, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. You can improve art assets and other improvements, reworking the game to use the Unreal Engine 4 game engine. The game is delayed multiple times until a planned May 30th, 2023 release. That is just now. That's this week. This I did not know, though. A planned live-action television series based on System Shock was announced on October 2021. The game will be made for Binge, a video game-centric streaming service. I don't even know if that still exists. To be produced by Alan Unger, with Night Dive's Stephen Kick and Larry Cooperman serving as executive producers. In January 2022, it was announced that Greg Russo, screenwriter of Mortal Kombat, has been tapped to write, direct, and executive produce the series. One other thing that was released just today, the System Shock 2 Enhanced Edition, which doesn't really... it just makes it more palatable for modern machines and upgrades the resolution. It's not going to be like this System Shock coming to. I would not be surprised if there was a Kickstarter announcement for a System Shock 2 remaster.
Yeah.
Also, there's a System Shock 3, but no one knows what's going on with that, and I'm treating it like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I don't think it's ever going to be released. We'll see.
It was in, like... It's gotten caught up in a lot of different licensing hands. And, like, to the point where, like, I'm not even entirely certain who owns the licensing to System Shock 3 anymore.
Electronic Arts.
Do they?
Yeah.
Hold on. Because the last I heard, it was a company that was like a subsidiary of Tencent.
Really? Well, it's officially dead at Warren Spector Studios, so yeah, it's not with Electronic Arts anymore. It's up to Tencent, concerns Night Dive, and Night Dive is working on it as well. They might as well do all the System Shocks, I guess. So, still,
yeah.
they have to deal with System Shock 2. I wonder if they're going to do a remastering like the one that's about to come out for System Shock 1. And I am not in a hurry to have System Shock 3 anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like, we might see a resurgence for it if Night Dive sticks the landing on this one.
I hope so. It looks pretty good. I wonder if they're still going to have the VR. I mean, the System Shock 2 Enhanced Edition. I think that's supposed to have a VR option. So
interesting.
We'll see. But yeah, I didn't really play much of the first System Shock. I played the hell out of System Shock 2. So the version that's coming out on May 30th, I'm looking forward to. I backed it. And, you know, the thing is, I never played the demo. I refused to play the demo.
I have stayed away from the demo as well, because I've never actually played any of the System Shock games, and I kind of want to go into Night Dive's version fresh.
Well, then, guess what? The Enhanced Edition of System Shock 2 will be perfect for you, because it'll... See, the System Shock 2 used the Dark Engine from Thief, which means everybody looks like badly created origami.
Mm-hmm.
They'll look more like people in System Shock 2. And what's funny is that the game tries to make it a plot twist that Showdown is involved, even though she's on the fucking cover and they talk about her in the opening credits. She's on the cover and you talk about her in the opening scene. Yeah, what a shock, she's in it. But the way she appears is the shock. Anyways, we have some quick...
System Shock?
System Shock, yeah. This Showdown. Yeah, okay. Some quick news. Mortal Kombat 1 system requirements show it'll be another 100 gigabyte install. That's one of the news that's fresh, is that Mortal Kombat 1 is announced. So, TJ, your opinion on Mortal Kombat 1 so far?
They're going back to, they're doing another reboot, sort of, to the timeline.
Kind of, sort of. It's not really a reboot.
It's still a sequel to Mortal Kombat 11 because, like, the spoilers on a several-year-old game at this point. At the end of Mortal Kombat 11, Liu Kang becomes a god, and he becomes a god of time and decides he's going to try to create the perfect timeline.
Well, I guess that's Mortal Kombat 1. So, he's going to say, I'm going to make it 1. Forget 12. I'm starting from the beginning.
Yeah, and so by the time that we get to here, Mortal Kombat 1, it looks like Shang Tsung is coming back to try to screw up everything that Liu Kang has built.
Yeah, 100 gigabytes isn't that big a shock. I think Mortal Kombat 11 was sort of 100 gigabytes on install too. I don't remember.
The really funny part is that Nintendo Switch is listed as a platform.
You can bet they're going to do some streaming.
Stream
that sucker.
Mortal Kombat 11 on Nintendo Switch was complete crap, for lack of better words. Like, it was a stripped down visual version of the game, and then it played like garbage. And that was after a delay. I have a feeling that we're going to be writing about a delay on Mortal Kombat 1 on Switch.
Well, we already talked about last week when we said, oh, by the way, there's not going to be a Switch version of Midnight Suns.
Yeah. I have a feeling that we're going to be writing about a delay on Mortal Kombat 1 on Switch, and then eventually a cancellation of that version. Because, like, there's no way.
We'll have some more developers who develop PSDD from it. I first found out about that last week, and that someone actually, a developer, developed PSD, post-traumatic stress disorder from the violence. Although I'm pretty sure it was also helped along by the brutal work conditions, because Mortal Kombat 11 was noted for having really bad crunch.
Yeah, and that I'm halvesies on the fatalities, because everybody says that's what Mortal Kombat is all about, but I don't know, like they used to be like cartoonish, and now they're like,
yeah, and they have to look at actual, people who have been torn apart and animals that have been torn apart. They do all this. Why? You don't need to. Just make it fantastic.
Yeah. That's always why I've kind of liked Injustice's finishing moves more, because like they're still brutal, but they're also like they tie into like the sort of sensibilities of that universe, and like nobody really ever dies from a super in Injustice.
Oh well, look. In Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, the heroes had brutalities, and one was Green Lantern putting someone in a green sphere and then shrinking it down to the size of a beach ball. Don't tell me that isn't a fatality, and that is brutal.
Sure, but that's like cartoonish, though.
Yeah, they don't get up. All the other brutalities they do get up, they don't get up. Anyways, they just focus on babalities and friendships and. I
mean, you talk about that, and that sounds like Green Lantern stuffing somebody into a ball and then turning it down to the size of a beach ball. At least sounds kind of funny. In the first trailer we got for Mortal Kombat, Shang Tsung shoves his thumbs into Kitana's eyes. It's like there's nothing comedic or like funny about that. It's just kind of cruel and brutal.
I don't know. I like the brutality in Sniper Elite because, who doesn't like watching a bullet go through some Nazi's brain?
Yeah, I don't know. I think somewhere along the way, Mortal Kombat lost the sense of like over the top in terms of like, chasing to be like the most realistically physical game ever.
On that note, there's a lot of Street Fighter 6 videos coming out, and I actually did my reserving of Street Fighter 6 on GameFly because now you can pre-order it.
You're gonna play Street Fighter 6 when it comes out?
Sure, why not? I mean, I enjoy Injustice 2 a lot. I don't play it much anymore, but I'll see about it. I played Street Fighter 4, and it was sort of okay, but, we'll see.
There's going to be a lot of story to play around with this time around.
Oh, yeah, that's the reason, actually. It's because of the World Tour is the reason why I'm reserving it on GameFly.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to deal with other people.
Yeah.
I am a hermit. I don't want to have to deal with other people. I just want to deal with a computer who I can say, okay, you're on easy mode now. Next, this was a continuation of an article we had. Indie Studio warns other developers after being unable to claim its own name on Discord. Indie Studio Rusty Lake, who did puzzle adventures like Rusty Lake Hotel and White Door, found Rusty Lake was already taken. So yeah, that decision to have everybody have their own unique username on Discord is not working out. And it wasn't this was something that was predictable.
Yeah, this is a very interesting one. Like, you try to come up with something creative, and then when it comes to marketing, you get kind of shellacked.
I'm pretty sure someone already took Rusty Venture.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to move on to game news. You can take this, TJ.
Mortal Kombat 1's DLC fighters seem to have leaked from Kotaku. According to a now-deleted Amazon listing for the recently revealed Mortal Kombat 1, it appears as if some popular and violent superheroes will be joining the upcoming fighters' character roster via DLC. Officially announced on May 18, after weeks of teasers and rumors, Mortal Kombat 1 is the next major installment in the long-running ultra-violent fighting game series. Based on the now tweaked Amazon listing, the upcoming DLC fighters will be Peacemaker, Homelander, Omni-Man, Ermac, Takeda, and Quan Chi. Peacemaker, Homelander, and Omni-Man are all guest characters from outside Mortal Kombat. Omni-Man is most famously from Amazon Prime's animated superhero show Invincible, which is based on the comic series of the same name. Homelander is from The Boys, another superhero show based on a comic series that also airs on Amazon Prime. And Peacemaker is a DC anti-hero villain who recently starred on a TV show and was portrayed by John Cena.
Peacemaker was from the old Charlton comics. So what happens is that when Alan Moore made Watchmen, he took those Charlton comics and made different ones, like Dr. Manhattan is actually, Captain Atom. Peacemaker, it was turned into the comedian.
Wasn't Peacemaker also in Suicide Squad?
Peacemaker, yeah. He's, like I said, he's a DC character. He's a Charlton character that was brought over to the to DC Universe because DC owned them and said, what are we going to do with these people? We're going to do with Blue Beetle. What are we going to do with the Question? What are we going to do with these people? I said, we'll just incorporate it into our universe. And Peacemaker was the superhero who would use guns to make sure we have peace.
That's always ironic, isn't it? I'll give you peace by killing you.
But yeah, I'm guessing. I know Quan Chi. That's a Mortal Kombat character. I'm not sure I know Ermac and Takeda.
Ermac is the red ninja, which his whole deal is telekinesis. So he uses a lot of picking enemy.
Was he originally yet another color palette swap for Sub-Zero/Scorpion?
Yeah, I think he was in Mortal Kombat 3 or Ultimate Mortal Kombat as a secret character. His whole jam is he uses telekinesis all over the place. They expanded him out a little bit in Mortal Kombat X to where he houses the souls of thousands of warriors inside of him. Takeda was a successor to Scorpion. He's from Scorpion's clan, but he has like this technological suit, and it has like what's the word? It has like cords that shoot out from the wrists, and those cords have blades hidden in them.
He actually shows his face.
Yeah. He showed up in Mortal Kombat X as like a new character, and a lot of people loved him. I liked him too. I'd wish he'd been in Mortal Kombat 11, so I'm glad to see him come back. Very interested to see Homelander and Omni-Man in the same DLC pack. That seems a bit much, because like they're not the same character, but they do have a lot of the same powers.
Well, we only know that they're going to be DLC. We don't know if they're all going to be in the same pack.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on to the next item. Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. Jagged Alliance 3 gets July 14th launch. This is from Game Rant. Jagged Alliance 3, the sequel to one of the most hardcore turn-based strategy RPGs ever, has finally announced its official release date. Soon, Steam players will be able to try out this new title for the first time after waiting almost 20 years for the game to be released. The sequel to 1999's Jagged Alliance 2 was originally announced back in 2004. It was the start of a long series of failures in releasing the awaited title. Initially, the game would be developed by the Russian developer Mistland South. However, Strategy First, the company that actually owned the IP, decided to develop it internally in the following year, changing its mind again in 2006, outsourcing it once more, and eventually canceling the game. The IP changed hands a few times until THC Nordic finally got it in 2015, announced the current version of Jagged Alliance 3, which has been in development for quite a while now. Now, Jagged Alliance 3 finally has a release date, July 14th, 2023. Strategy game is like XCOM, but with an important twist, as players won't be able to see their hit percentages before attacking. This makes for more unpredictable gameplay as it ramps up uncertainty. According to the game's Steam page, Jagged Alliance 3 will have a huge cast of over 40 mercenaries that will engage in rich tactical turn-based combat in the land of Grand Chien, a country full of natural resources and political divides. These mercenaries can be customized, and the player will be able to control several territories, defending their land against enemies and deciding the fate of the nation via tactical battles.
You know, they're kind of wrong when they say the big twist is that you can't see your hit percentages. No. The big twist is that you can't really tell them what to do. They'll only follow your orders if they agree with you.
Yeah. It looks like that's going to be like they're going all out on this. I was really happy to see that they brought the original creator in to continue on to like advise and help make sure that they got the tone and feel right of this game. Like Ian Curry was like Jagged Alliance 1 and 2 are damn good.
I was one of the beta testers. I was one of the beta testers on Jagged Alliance 2. You can see my name in the credits.
Yeah. And but there have been some bad Jagged Alliance games after Jagged Alliance 2. And Ian Curry was never involved with any of those.
Notably, they didn't have numbers attached to them.
Yeah. So to see them going as far as to bring him back to the series to make sure they get it right this time, I have full faith in this game, and I'm really excited to see it finally come out.
What were the other ones besides Jagged Alliance Deadly Games, Jagged Alliance 2 Unfinished Business, Jagged Alliance 2 Wildfire. Then they had Jagged Alliance 3D, which was not exactly Jagged Alliance 3.
Yeah.
I like Strategy First. You know, I thought they were gone, but they're still around. And you can buy some really popular games for like $5. Like, if you want to try out the first Jagged Alliance, you can buy it from Strategy First for $2. There is no reason not to get the first Jagged Alliance. Just $2 from Strategy First.
I've played the first one a couple times. I've tried to, anyways. It's a difficult game to.
Until you get the sniper, then everything's fine.
Well, it's a difficult game in the terms of just how much controls there are. Like, I wish I had the booklet that probably came with the game, because it was probably like a dictionary.
Well, I'm pretty sure that the strategy first thing comes with a PDF.
Sure, but like, I don't know, because then I have to have that pulled up on a screen somewhere
Oh no,
while I'm looking at the game.
Just print it out. I mean, come on.
Print it out? Jonah, those guides back in the day were like 150 pages long.
I'm sorry, Jagged Alliance from Strategy First is $1.50.
Plus $20 for printer paper and ink.
Right. Rudy Linkside Roberts. He's one of the most expensive. He's $3,300, but he has a marksmanship of 99. He will not miss.
I did like scanning through the mercenaries that you could hire in the first game and just reading their
They all have personalities, and like I said, some of them hate each other and will not work together.
Yeah, there's like one that's like Dr. Death or some shit, and he's like a hardcore badass, but he won't work with anyone else.
Yeah.
He also costs like, I think somewhere around $10,000 a month.
You also have to unlock a lot of these guys too.
Yeah, you have to build up your reputation, or they won't even give you a chance to court them.
So it's $1.49 for Jagged Alliance and $1.69 for Jagged Alliance 2 Unfinished Business.
Mm-hmm.
So, that reminds me. I always really enjoyed the Disciples games. They actually released the new Disciples game the past year too, and not a lot of people know that series. So it's sort of like, what is this? It's like Heroes of Might and Magic except anime.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah, Jagged Alliance 3. If you really like XCOM, this is where XCOM came from, because Jagged Alliance came out released by the same company. Both were Microprose games.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also where a lot of Sid Meier's games came from too, like Railroad Tycoon and other stuff that he did. Pirates. Yeah, Microprose was really good back in the day, back in the 90s. I miss Microprose.
Yeah.
Anyway, our next news item. Sony is sticking to its current PC strategy for PS5 exclusives, and this comes first from IGN. Sony is taking PS5 exclusivity for its first-party titles very seriously. PlayStation CEO Jim Ryan says the company is sticking to its guns with its current strategy of not launching PC versions of its games on day one. In a recent interview with Famitsu, Ryan dismissed the idea of releasing PC versions of PS5 exclusive games, such as God of War Ragnarok, on the same day they launch on PS5 proper, saying porting them over to PC 2 or 3 years after the fact has been working out well for Sony. Xbox head Phil Spencer has criticized PlayStation for its staggered PC release schedule, pointing out that customers are forced to pay an exorbitant amount for the PS5 or PS4 in order to play the games designed exclusive for those consoles, and then have to pay up for the PC versions years later. Meanwhile, Xbox is the only platform that releases games on console, PC, and cloud simultaneously, especially on Game Pass. I don't think Nintendo releases any games on PC anymore.
No, they haven't done anything on PC for a long time if they had.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, they used to do those edutainment day games when they were partnered up with Philips CDI.
Oh, God. Excuse me, princess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I do agree that Sony's PC strategy is dumb. Because who the hell doesn't want to play God of War Ragnarok on PC day one if they can?
Are they scared if they sell it for $70 on PC, people will get angry? They'll get angry, but they'll still buy it.
I get the feeling that if they... I have a strong feeling that PlayStation believes that if they sell God of War Ragnarok on PC on day one, then people won't buy as many PS5s for God of War Ragnarok.
Is that the same logic that people won't buy a PlayStation because there's no Call of Duty on it?
I have no idea, but like they are doing well in terms of PS5 sales right now. They've pretty much these last 2 quarters have been
Europe, because
bonkers
they have Europe.
Strong. What?
Well, in Europe, yes. Basically, sales are even in the United States for the most part. But I will say
about worldwide.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
PS5 have been super strong.
Because guess what? There's no more. Here's the thing, though. Did you know that NVIDIA is going to be releasing an 8 gigabyte DRAM version of their 4060 for $400?
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who are saying, wow, that's super cheap. And there's a lot of people saying, wow, that's super cheap.
Yeah, which nice change of pace from the super hard to get 3080s that were like, I guess, no, now that I think about
card prices have been dropping, but still, I'm not going to pay $1,000 for a 32 gigabyte 4070 DGT or something like that.
Yeah.
I will say this, I'm probably going to build a new computer because this one's getting a little bit long in the tooth. So we'll see.
Either way, like, I think this is one of the places where Xbox is right to criticize PlayStation because, like, it sucks having all those exclusives tied into the PS5 when they have clearly so many people that would love to play their games on PC. Every PC game that they've put out, even the bad ones have sold well. Like, Horizon Forbidden West was horribly optimized for PC. It was a bug fest. But people still bought the shit out of it.
Did you see the Bart and Homer and Flanders version of God of War? The mod for the PC version of God of War, which made Kratos Homer Simpson and oh fuck, what's his?
Yeah, it was Baldur. They
Baldur
did the Baldur fight.
Does Sony Santa Monica know that Baldur is basically Jesus? I don't think they do. Baldur is Jesus. Do they know this?
I think every god in the God of War universe.
No. Literally, literally Baldur is Jesus because if you know anything about the Christians got their hands on Norse mythology. So basically, Ragnarok is getting rid of all the old gods, and the only one who survives is Baldur, who rises from the dead and becomes the one god.
Because he can't be killed.
Yeah, because you can kill him. You just need mistletoe.
I thought Loki killed him.
No. Loki tricked his brother into killing him.
Thor?
Okay.
No, Loki tricked I forgot who, Baldur's brother, into killing him. I'm trying to remember the brother's name, but after that happened, everybody just chased after Loki. it was basically a dude not funny moment, and
damn it, Loki.
He tried to turn into a snake. They found him. He turned into a fish. They found him. And then he basically got the Prometheus punishment, in which he always had poison being dripped into his eyes.
If you don't want a guy to do that, you shouldn't make him the god of chaos.
He's not the god of chaos, though, because here's the thing. Like I said, a lot of it... Because here's the thing. Odin is not the All-Father. He's not. Because Christians do that. Oh, he must be the god. No. Odin was not the leader of the gods. All he cared about was secrets and finding out information.
Yeah, knowledge.
But he had no interest in ruling anything. None. Reminds me of one of the myths in which he did a knowledge test with a demon who, he challenged him not knowing it was Odin, and Odin says, it's me. And the demon goes, oh shit. And, he says, okay, you win if you can answer this one question. What did I whisper in Baldur's ear after he died? And, of course, the demon doesn't know this because no one knows what happened then. So, it's, So Odin is not God, and he's not even Zeus. He's just a one-eyed guy who likes to find out secrets.
He's also kind of a jerk.
Yeah. And, by the way, remember, Thor has red hair. He does not have blonde hair. He has red hair.
Yep.
Anyways, getting back to Sony and all that stuff. Oh, the other thing is that the European Union approved of the merger. China approved of the merger, and now the UK MP is screaming at CMA to get this shit done. So everybody's approving except for the US and the UK. And basically, the FCC is going to try and sue, and I think they might go try and sue even if they know they'll lose, because they want to be able to say we sued. And the thing that everybody's worried about, Microsoft having streaming, it's only for Xbox. They made it quite clear it's not PC. We're only streaming Xbox stuff. You know how low a percentage that is? I mean, EU is worried that it might happen like Microsoft did with Windows, and now everybody has a Windows. Well, everybody seriously has a Windows software unless you're Apple or you have Linux because you're hipster. So they just don't want that to happen again. I don't think that'll happen. And like I said, imagine if Google actually put effort into streaming, actual effort. Who is going to pay for a streaming service and then pay full price for games to stream on it?
Yeah.
You're not going to buy, you're not going to subscribe to a streaming service, then actually purchase Doom, what was the second one? Doom Eternal. Yeah. No one's going to do that.
Yeah.
Just offer Doom Eternal for free. People will do that. No. It could have been good, but Google just fucked it up. Amazon's going to try their hand. I think Apple is starting to try their own hand at it too. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Yeah.
Because I don't think physical will ever go away. And even with downloading games onto, I think physical will never go away. And just like that, I don't think consoles will die to streaming either. People will always want a physical box.
You know, with Google Stadia, at least people told me whether they liked it or not when it came to certain games. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say anything good or bad about Amazon Luna. I don't know anyone who's ever even tried it.
Does it even exist? I keep
Yeah, it does. Well, here, kind of, sort of. Right
it's
now,
available to buy and use.
And it's basically a streaming service for PC games.
Yeah. It's the same idea, too. You get like a controller and then you have a dongle and you plug it into something and you have access to it.
On the other hand, Amazon doesn't have the testicles to make people buy the games as well. No, you have the streaming service and you have this. Go ahead, have fun.
Yeah, it's built a lot like NVIDIA Shield.
Anyways, we're going to move on to the next item. And TJ, I'm pretty sure you know all about the agita about Overwatch 2 PvE. It's been the big news that's been all week. So take this one item, TJ.
Canceled Overwatch 2 PvE mode was meant to lead to an MMO from PlayStation Lifestyle. Earlier this week, Blizzard Entertainment canceled the Overwatch 2 PvE mode, Hero Missions. As it turns out, those missions were part of a bigger Now Next plan. In fact, the PvE Hero Missions were step 2 of a 3-step plan that would have led to a new MMO. Back in 2013, a first-person shooter MMO called Project Titan was canceled at Blizzard Entertainment, although it wasn't publicly announced until 2014. Several members of the development team were moved to a new team called Team 4 and were set to work on Overwatch. However, they still considered themselves to be an MMO team, and they came up with a 3-step plan to get themselves back into developing MMOs. The first step was to use Project Titan assets to create Overwatch, which turned out to be a runaway hit.
It's hilarious.
The second step of the plan was a dedicated version of PvE, which was meant to be a combination of hero missions and story missions in Overwatch 2.
Does this sound familiar? I'm just asking. Fortnite.
Eventually, this would lead to an MMO that would be a true realization of the original vision of Project Titan. So what went wrong? According to Overwatch 2's current game director, Aaron Keller, the team wasn't as focused as we should have been on a game that was a runaway hit, and focused too much on a plan that they couldn't get to work anymore. The result is a new roadmap for Overwatch 2, which still includes the story missions alongside co-op content.
Yeah, there's some of us who really preferred Fortnite Save the World when it was actually Fortnite. And then they made Fortnite a Battle Royale, and then the tail started wagging the dog, and everybody started playing Battle Royale. So the Battle Royale became Fortnite, and the single-player Fortnite became Fortnite Save the World, or something like that. I forgot and then they just dumped that.
I remember reviewing Overwatch 2 and thinking, this is like half the game, and I guess I'll just review the other half when it comes out. Because right now, it's just Overwatch 1 with a new hat. And, man, I would have been so much harsher on that game if I'd known that the second half of the game was never coming. 4 years is a long time to tell people that you have something under control before you tell them that you don't have it under control and it's never happening.
Well, that's your thing. I mean, before this article, there's a lot of outcry about the PvE part being dumped. A lot of people are upset.
As they should be. It's half the game. It's half the promised game. Like, I do not understand. Like, I'm sure that to a certain degree, like, scope gets out of control, and Activision Blizzard has been through some crazy shit as it tries to dump toxicity and get in or bury it under fucking Bobby Kotick. But at the same time, like 4 years they continued to push that idea that this PvE, we're gonna get it ready, it's coming, don't worry about it, we're gonna launch the game, you can enjoy the game while we figure it out, it's on the way. For 4 years, that's a long time to lie.
You know what's interesting is that Electronic Arts and other publishers are starting to realize that people really, really, really like single-player content.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my god, people like to play by themselves?
Yes.
Because here's the thing. I don't know if people understand, a lot of publishers understand this. You know that you really can't play a board game by yourself. Well, you can if there's a single-player mode, but video games are the one place in which you don't feel like there's anything taken away when you're just playing by yourself.
Right.
You don't have a teammate. When you don't have some people to play with. I mean, for sometimes a while ago, you know, when I was playing board games, like I can't hang out with anybody. You know, I'll just play some video games.
Yeah, and it took up, and EA was on the wrong track for a long time with that too.
Thank you, John Riccitello.
It took the first Star Wars Jedi, for them to finally realize that.
Before that,
we can make a lot of money on this. We just have to come up with a good idea and implement it well.
Oh, even before that, stuff like what's the name of that game in which you play a ball of twine? Oh god, I can't forget. I can't believe I forgot this game. Intertwined or something like that. Yeah. You know the game I'm talking about, right? They started releasing these. You know, they started. Here's the thing: the real catalyst was when SimCity was just thoroughly trashed, and everybody started playing Cities Skylines, and it's like, holy shit, you want to play that? You want to play Cities Skylines? It's a single-player game. Oh my god, look how much it's selling. Let's start looking into this single-player thing. They kicked John Riccitello out and started to do a lot of, and I still am baffled. Well, I'm not totally baffled by Sony saying we're gonna make 10 live service games in 4 years. Who wants that?
Like 5 live service games got shuttered at the beginning, like in the first half of this year.
Really? That's not surprising. Because here's the thing: I'm going to tell you this. I'm pretty sure for a lot of people, there's only room for one live service game in their life, maybe two. Maybe
for a lot of them, it's Destiny or Fortnite. Like
Fortnite,
the mega titans that have already established themselves and are not going anywhere.
I mean, Fallout 76, as much as people like to bash on it, they've made it into a game that has a devoted fan base now.
Yeah.
And the thing is that live service games demand attention. They demand attention. They demand, hey, you have to come back tomorrow and play me. And you're not going to do that for a bunch of games.
Yeah, I can't play games that demand my attention, that much of my attention. That's why I stopped playing stuff like World of Warcraft.
Unless its name is Zelda, we know.
I can stop playing Zelda anytime and come back,
yes,
and nothing will have changed.
Oh god, unless it's a Tamagotchi, then it really demands your attention.
Ugh.
Hey, that's another thing. I downloaded the Disney game, the Disney version of Animal Crossing. I haven't started it yet, but I'm going to try it out.
Yeah, a lot of people like that one.
Have you played it, TJ?
Which one?
Disney's Animal Crossing.
Oh, no. Dreamlight Valley. Yeah. I have a friend who loves that game.
Yeah, I downloaded it. It's on Game Pass. I'm going to give it a whirl.
You should ask Paul about it. I bet he plays it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he worked for Disney?
Isn't he a huge fan of Disney stuff? I thought he liked the Disney...
Yeah. Well, he also worked for Disney, too. He did that Tinkerbell game, the Disney Facebook. Fairies, Disney. No, it's a website. Disney Fairies. Oh, damn, what was it called? Something Hollow, Fairy Hollow, something like that.
Yeah.
So
I thought there was something about the Olympic pins or something.
I think so. I'm not sure. All I know is that I had to wait, and he waited a couple of hours online at E3 just to get some some things for the Disney version of, the live play game, Toys to Life game. And then he sold all of them because Disney abandoned it. It's just sad. Yeah, well, Disney abandoned their Toys to Life line.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
I mean, Nintendo still has it, but only because they're able to incorporate it into Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Well, all their games you can scan the amiibos for bonuses. So
yeah, even right now you can use pretty much every Zelda amiibo that has ever come out to unlock stuff.
Here's the Kingdom.
Wow. So I'm pretty sure Paul still has his amiibos.
Yep.
I heard that the Luigi amiibo is hard to get.
That's funny. Luigi is a silly one with his.
I like Luigi.
They should have. I'm pretty sure they have a Waluigi amiibo somewhere.
You guys see the Mario movie?
Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. It's Illumination. I knew exactly what to expect, and I was bored to tears.
How dare!
I loved it.
It's Illumination. Anyways,
I knew what I was in for, but there was a couple surprises that got me giggling.
Here's the thing. I'm not your typical nerd in which I don't get off on seeing references and Easter eggs. I don't give two shits about that.
It was just a fun movie. I like the Take Me On song when they were racing with Donkey Kong. Thought that was fun.
Anyways, getting back to Overwatch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What's the status right now in Overwatch 2, really?
People still play it, but a lot of people are pissed about it all the time. Like, that is the best I can tell you about it, is that I see that people still play it frequently, but also when I go on Twitter or Facebook and hear anything about it, it is nothing but complaining. I've never seen anyone. I haven't seen too many people say nice things about Overwatch 2.
That's funny. I always hear the same thing about Halo, but people still play Halo. People love to complain sometimes, I mean, here you're not having. Oh, by the way, they're finally including multiplayer into Halo Infinite single player.
And that's the thing that you were talking about, Jonah, where like a lot of people only have time in their lives for one live service game, and so even if it sucks, it's kind of if that's the one that you gravitate towards, if that's the one that your friends play on, it's probably easier to just sit there and complain about the one that you won't leave than try to start a new one.
Yeah, at least Halo is cross-platform, so you can play on PC, Steam, or Xbox.
Yeah.
I think you can do that with Overwatch 2. I'm not sure. Speaking of cross-platform, Super Mega Baseball 4 is going to be cross-platform as well, which is nice. For those who don't know, we talked about it in the last episode, and I think I've had enough of MLB The Show. I think I want to rather play Super Mega Baseball 4.
Yeah. I hope they iron out some of the. Well, I hope they iron out some of the issues that they've had in the past when they were indie. Now that they've got some PA money behind them.
The problems I had with 3 were basically it wasn't much different than 2, except it took hopefully there's. Here's the thing: it's been a long time between 3 and 4, so I'm pretty sure that they've been working a lot and adding a lot to Super Mega Baseball 4 this time around. You can't import your 2 and 3 teams. That's fine. Just start over. But I'm looking forward to it because the characters are goofy, but the gameplay is really, really good.
Yeah.
Anyways, you can look for our show notes at gamingpodcast.net, along with industry news and gaming history articles. We enjoy feedback, so leave us comments on our blog at gamingpodcast.net. Also, hit us up at facebook.com/gamingpodcast. Subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave us some iTunes comments. You can find me on Twitter at Jonah Falcon.
You can find me at Johnny Chugs.
You can find me at Charter Moore.
And we will see you next week.
Happy gaming, everyone.
Have fun. Be cool. Play games, y'all.